It's Anna here from Disrupt Tutoring, and as always, it's such a pleasure to join you. Today we're going to be answering a grade 7 natural science energy and change question taken from the Herzia Middle School June 2016 exam paper. So let's dive straight in. We're going to be answering question 7 of this question paper, and it's all about thermal conductivity of different metals. So let's just quickly go through the narration given at the top. It reads, Mr. Joseph set up an experiment to investigate the thermal conductivity of different metals. Thermal conductivity is how well metals will conduct heat. Okay, he set up the investigation as seen below and placed a small lump of petroleum jelly, Vaseline, at the end of each metal rod and then timed how long it took for the petroleum jelly to melt. And the diagram here is showing us the setup of this experiment. We've got 5 rods A to E, and there is a key here showing us what rod A is all the way down to rod E. Okay, so 7.1 says give the aim of this investigation. Now we've already read that the aim of the investigation is to determine the thermal conductivity of different metals. If you go back to our passage, you find that it's actually given in the first statement of the narration. Let's move on, and it reads, the table below shows the results of the investigation. There's a column for the type of metal on the left, and on the right is given the time in seconds for petroleum jelly to melt. And so question 7.2 asks us to provide a suitable heading for the above table. So a suitable heading would be thermal conductivity of different metals, because this is what the experiment is all about, and that is also what is shown in the table. Okay, 7.3 says name the independent variable, and 7.4 asks us to name the dependent variable. Now, before we actually get to answering this specific question, let's bring to mind what a variable is, or rather the variables in an experiment. They're usually three: independent variable, dependent variable, and a controlled variable. The independent variable is the one that is changed or manipulated in the experiments. The dependent variable is the one that you measure or observe to see what changes occur based or depending on the independent variable. And the controlled variable, which may also be known as the fixed variable, is the one that is kept constant throughout the experiment. So with that in mind, we can now answer and say that the independent variable here is the type of metal, because if you check here and also in the narration, you see that we have 5 different types of metal. Okay, so these are changing and therefore are the independent variable. And therefore the dependent variable is the time in seconds for petroleum jelly to melt, because this depends on the type of metal that is being used. Okay, moving right along, 7.5 says identify at least 3 ways Mr. Joseph would have ensured that this investigation was a fair test, and the hint is to think of a fixed variable. Okay, so let's bring to mind what it is we're talking about. Is the experiment again with the narration. So when we look at this, we can tell that one of the ways that he could have ensured that this was a fair test was to make sure he used an identical amount of petroleum jelly on all the rods. Okay, another way would be ensure that he used the same length of all metal rods, that none was longer or shorter than the other, and finally that he used the same amount of heat to pass through all the rods. These 3 ways would have ensured that this test was fair. Okay, so that these factors would not influence the experiment in any way. Okay, 7.6. Draw a suitable graph for this investigation on the graph paper provided. We'll proceed to do that. You know, when you're doing a graph, we use the information given in the table. Okay, so the table gave us the type of metal as well as the time in seconds for petroleum jelly to melt. And we've chosen a bar graph as the suitable mode of showing this information, because it allows us to see the differences in each of these metals very clearly. So now remember, when you're drawing a graph, some things to consider. Firstly, you must give your graph a title. And the title we've chosen for this graph is thermal conductivity of different metals. It's right here at the top of the graph. Remember also the positioning of your axis. X-axis down here, horizontal, and the y-axis goes vertical. Remember also to give your axis appropriate titles and to use an appropriate legend. For our x-axis, we've titled it type of metal, and our y-axis is the time for petroleum jelly to melt. Now, appropriate legend means, for instance, the demarcations that you use for your graphs must be appropriate to the information you're trying to convey. Let's have a look at the y-axis, the time for petroleum jelly to melt. It's divided into portions of 20. It goes from 0, 20, 40, 60, all the way to 180. Now imagine if you had used a legend or a scale that goes from 0 all the way to 100, 200, 300, like that. Your information would not have come out or been represented very well. It would have been very, very squashed, and you'd barely have seen the representation for copper and aluminium, for instance. So it's also very important to make sure you use an appropriate legend or scale when drawing your graphs. Make sure you also choose an appropriate type of graph. Again, we've used the bar graph so that we can really very clearly see these different demarcations in the different types of metal, as well as the time taken for the jelly to melt. And finally, remember to label your bars, because if you don't label it, then the information is incomplete and may not be very useful. Okay, so we've labeled steel, aluminium, brass, copper, and zinc. Okay, let's move on. So this is the kind of graph you should have at the end of this exercise. Let's move on to the last part of the question. It asks us to provide a suitable conclusion for this investigation. Okay, if we go back and have a look at the information that we have here represented in a graph, copper took the least time for petroleum jelly to melt, meaning that it conducted heat the most quickly or most effectively. Therefore, a suitable conclusion for this investigation is that copper has the best thermal conductivity of all the metals tested, and zinc is the least thermally conductive. We say that because the zinc took the longest time before the jelly melted, just over 160 seconds. Okay, we can put this in other words and say copper is the best heat conductor of all the metals tested. Alright, so that's that on our energy and change question. Before I go, allow me to say a very big thank you to our epic sponsor for making this video possible. Please read about them and more about us in the description below. Also, don't forget to head over to our website for more of these epic tutorial videos. If you can't find the answer to your question, you can send us your question and we will respond with a personalized video just for you. Until the next time, stay epic.